Instagram even became one of Oprah's favorite things, but now the Bindle bottle, water bottle, is being recalled. Consumer Reports found potentially dangerous levels of lead. On Your Side reporter Ashley Reynolds explains the danger lurking inside and the options to keep you safely hydrated.
Once one of Oprah's favorite things, Bindle is voluntarily recalling its Sip and Stash water bottle after Consumer Reports tests found alarmingly high levels of lead in the bottle's bottom storage compartment, levels that were over 1,000 times the amount allowed in many consumer products.
In the Bindle bottle's bottom storage compartment, there's a spot of lead solder that's sealing the different parts of the bottle together. So anything that you put into the storage compartment can potentially become contaminated with lead.
Exposure to lead can increase your cancer risk, cause reproductive harm, and hurt brain and nervous system development. Another hidden danger in these bottles, Consumer Reports tests also found some of them contain bisphenol A or BPA, a chemical linked to fertility problems and certain cancers, even though the company claims the product to be BPA-free. Because of these reasons, Consumer Reports is warning consumers to immediately stop using all of Bindle's water bottles. Bindle has said that production of Bindle bottles has been suspended and will be overhauled going forward, eliminating the presence of exposed lead anywhere on future products. If you have a Bindle bottle and want to contact the manufacturer, go to this website and complete the form to receive a free repair kit.
Now, I have that link on our website right now. Just head to the On Your Side section. Now, the Bindle bottle was removed from Oprah's list of favorite things. To report a dangerous product or product-related injury, go to saferproducts.gov. Paul?